In this video we will go through all the options available in the Tekcon Services Issue Manager application. After opening the program from the Applications and Components side pane, the program will open at the Issue Settings page, so let's take a look at the options. The project number and project name are automatically pulled through from the project properties, but you can manually override them if required. The issue description can be used to describe the issue and then can be used in other parts of the program to name files, etc. For this demonstration we will enter IFC Rev 0. The transmittal number can be entered in this field. This can then be used in other parts of the program, as we will see when we go to the next steps. The side cleat checkbox is a custom option added for one client who wanted to flag any SHS columns that had a side cleat so that they could group these columns in their NC export. Refer to the user guide for more information. In the Drawing Revision section, the Issue Manager can add revisions to the drawings, so you fill in the required information here. The date defaults to the current date. In the Drawing PDFs tab, we first have a table that defines how you want PDF booklets and individual PDFs to be created. There are three default core groups, being GAs, assemblies, and single parts. These cannot be deleted. The group label can be changed to any name you want, and is only used as a name within the software. The filter is a model select filter that you use to control exactly what you want to create PDFs of. For these three core groups, we would normally leave these as all objects. The include column is where you can choose what drawing types are in that group. For the core groups, these cannot be changed. Then there is a tick box where you can choose if you want to create a PDF booklet or not for that group, and then you can define a name in the booklet description. Next, you can choose if you want to create individual PDFs of that group and the folder location for those PDFs. Let's add a custom group for cold rolled members. First, we need to create a model select filter to isolate cold rolled members. Then add a new row and name the group Cold Rolled. Set the filter, and we will include only assembly drawings in this group. We will create a booklet for them, and also individual PDFs, and place them into their own folder. Note that when creating a custom group, any drawings that end up in that custom group are removed from the three core groups. Finish grouping. When you tick the Sort Assemblies by Finish option, you can then open the Advanced Finish Grouping dialog, and you will be shown a list of all finishes used in the model, and you can then create the groups as you wish. In this example, I will add them all first to their unique groups. And then, we'll remove the Hot Dip Galv option and re-add it to the Galv group. You can also assign the finish value to a drawing UDA if you wish. For this demonstration, I will not sort by finish. Booklet settings. In the booklet settings, we can define a path for the booklet. The default is the model folder, so let's add a new subfolder named Issues, then a further subfolder named Booklets. The booklet file name can be defined. By default, it is using a series of short codes, which are fields that come from other areas of the program. First, it is getting the project number from the Issue Setting tab. Then the booklet description from the Groupings table. Then the Issue description from the Issue Setting tab, and the date is the current date. The Help tab lists all the available short codes. If you are sorting by assembly finish, you can also choose a booklet name for those booklets. Individual PDF settings. You can choose the root folder for where the PDF booklets will be placed. The folders nominated in the Groupings table will be subfolders of the individual PDF root folder. And there is a tick box to add the drawing revision to the end of the PDF file name. Document Manager. To help with the management of drawings, the Issue Manager can create a custom category for the drawings being issued, and you can name that category. This is so that you can come back at a later date and see exactly what drawings were issued. And you can get the Issue Manager to mark all drawings as issued, and at the same time it will clear the Ready for Issue field if you use that to note what drawings are ready for issue. PDF plot settings. In the PDF plot settings, you can define a custom print setting if you have one, otherwise it will default to the standard file. I would recommend though creating a setting in your firm folder and pointing to that. Reports. The folder for the reports can be defined as well as the file extension for any reports that take the default XSR file extension. Some users like to change the XSR to text to make it a more common extension. We can also convert Tekla Excel reports to a native Excel format. Tekla's Excel reports are not actually an Excel file. They are a web format HTML file that has been written to output as an Excel file, but it is not really. These three title fields are the title fields in the Tekla report dialog. You might, for example, have a custom transmittal report, and when you enter the transmittal number into the Title 1 field, that is then outputted in the report into a transmittal number field. If that was the case, then we could add the short code for transmittal number in the Title 1 field. Report naming. We can define a prefix and suffix to add to the reports. In this example, we are adding the project number as a prefix and the date as a suffix. And you can find and replace any text in the report file name. Reports from drawing selection. Then in the reports from drawing selection list, we can choose the reports we want to run. As the name suggests, these reports are run from the selected drawings. And we can choose which drawing types we want to use for the selection. Being that we have chosen reports that have the text Excel in the file name, we might want to remove that, so we can use the search and replace to remove it. Reports from model select filters. There are some objects that you might not create drawings for, such as proprietary or bought items like turnbuckles, stair treads, bridging, etc. So for these to appear in reports, you can add reports that are to be run from a model selection, and you can use a select filter to narrow down the selection. NC Export. In the NC Export setting tab, we can define what NC files we want to create. Grouping. In the object group, we can define a select filter to use for that particular group. For now, we will just use all steel. Then choose the export setting and decide if pop marks or contour marks are required. Now select if you want to create a DXF from the NC file. You have the choice of the original DXF converter, which is the DSTV2 DXF option, or the new converter that is included in Tekla 2024. We don't create DXFs for shafts, so we'll set this to off. Then define a folder for this group and choose the drawing type that you want the NC files to be created from. Typically, we would create NC files only from single part drawings, but you can choose assembly drawings or both. In the case of cold rolled members, which typically don't have single part drawings created, you might choose both. Let's create a new group for plates and this time define a DXF option. And then a cold rolled group. And for these we will create them from assembly drawings. You can define the folder for NC files, and then the group folders defined in the groupings table will be subfolders of that folder. And you can add a prefix to the NC files. In this example, we will add the project number short code. Green. Some fabricators or steel suppliers require green to be added to curved beams. This can be added here, and you can choose the members you want to add green to using a model select filter, as well as define how much green to add, and also the NC setting and the folder. Note that green is only added to poly beams, and the green value is an amount per each end, so adding 600 green will add 1200 overall to the member length. In the DXF Export tab, you can define how the NC DXF files are created. There are two sub-tabs. one for each of the converters depending on what you chose on the NC Export tab. On the first tab, we can choose to automatically create a DXF from every NC file created from the NC Export tab, or you can actually use the Issue Manager to just create DXFs from NC files manually, as you would using the standalone converter in Tekla. To use the manual option, choose Manually Create DXF Files, and then this subsection becomes active, and you can choose the input folder, and you can press Create DXF Files to create the DXFs. You can choose a definition file for the converter, but if you don't have one, you can just choose the one that comes with Tekla. And finally, you can add a prefix to the file. For this demonstration, we will use the new converter, so we will set this tab to No DXF Creation. In the new DXF Converter tab, we will set them to be created automatically, and will define the output folder, and choose an attribute file. The attribute file will just be standard, unless you have created custom settings in the DSTV to DXF converter. And we will add the project number as a prefix. In the IFC Export 3D DWG or DXF tab, you can define if and how an IFC file, a 3D DWG DXF, or a Trimble Connect project will be created. IFC Export. You can choose to create an IFC file, and there is an option to only create the IFC if at least one GA drawing is selected. Then select the IFC export setting, the model view representation, and the model select filters to define what will be included in the IFC file. Next, define the folder for the IFC file and the file name. "3D-DWG DXF". There is an option to also create a 3D DWG or DXF, and again select the setting file, model select filters, folder, and file name. Trimble Connect link. In the Trimble Connect link section, we can choose to create a Trimble Connect project and upload the IFC created in the IFC export section to the Trimble Connect project. Note that to be able to create a Trimble Connect project, you need to have a current Trimble Connect subscription. Nominate the email address you want to share the Trimble Connect model with. If you don't wish to send the link directly to the client, just enter your own email address and you will be emailed the model link that you can then forward on if required. You can also enter multiple email addresses. Define a name for the project in Trimble Connect, and enter a folder if you prefer, but you can leave that empty. If you are using QR codes on your drawings that generate a link to the Trimble Connect project, Issue Manager can also copy a part of the URL back into the project description field of the project properties to be used by the QR code. Before creating an issue, be sure to sign into Trimble Connect. The complete package can then be zipped using either Windows Standard Zipping application or 7-Zip. Choose the root folder that will be zipped and define the output folder and file name. For this demonstration, I won't worry about zipping the files. Once you have all the settings defined, you can now save them away for future use. I will name this option My Settings. You can also save the settings as standard, and this will then be the default anytime you use Issue Manager. So let's try it out. All you need to do now is select all the drawings you want to issue and select the 3D view and press Create Issue, and that's it. Note that we have sped this portion of the video up to save time. This model contains over 500 drawings and took a little over 14 minutes to create the entire package. Unfortunately, there is a known issue regarding speed when creating PDF drawings via the Tekla API, so the speed is not as good as we would like, but we hope this will be improved by Tekla in coming versions. That said, this is still much quicker than creating the package manually. And remember, the whole process is completely automated, so the risk of mistakes is greatly reduced. Let's review what has been created. First, in the Document Manager, a custom category has been created for the issue, and all drawings have been flagged as issued, and the Ready for Issue flag has been removed. All drawings have a revision added. If we open the package, we have PDF booklets for each group, individual PDFs for each group, all contained in their own subfolder. A selection of reports in their own folder, renamed to include the project number as a prefix, the date as a suffix, and the text, Excel, removed. The reports have also been converted to native Excel files. Three sets of NC files. One set of NC DXFs for plates. An IFC file. A 3D DWG. And finally, the IFC file has been published to a new Trimble Connect project, with the main portion of the Trimble Connect project link transferred to the project description, and an email has been received with the model link.